With cooking meat, there's a few simple tips I want to share with you that will just elevate the flavor and just make it a little bit easier and simpler. One, remove your meat from the freezer a day or two before. I like to just thaw it in the fridge, put it in like a bowl, that way the blood doesn't get anywhere, and just allow it to thaw. And then when you're ready to cook it, you're gonna remove it from the fridge and let it come to room temperature. I like to do this like an hour or two before, and if it's steaks and burgers, it's a great time to season it then, and then just allow it to come to room temperature. For tender cuts like steaks, ground beef, you're gonna wanna use more dry heat methods, so pan frying, grilling, that sort of thing. And for roast, short ribs, kind of the more tougher cuts, you're gonna want to use moist heat methods. So that's like crock pot, braising, boiling, that sort of thing. One of my favorite things to do is to put a roast in the crock pot early in the morning, and then dinner's ready at night. However you're cooking it, I like to start when my pan is hot and throw it on. But for grass-fed beef, you do want to cook it at a lower temperature than you might other beef. Okay, so there's two ways that you can test if your meat is ready. There's the temperature test, and here's the temperatures of like if it's medium rare. The second way, the way I like to do it, is the finger test. Okay, so with this steak, for example, I could either do a temperature test or I could just push it. So right now the steak is it's like very bouncy. So it's gonna be rare to medium rare. If I wanna let it cook longer, it'll get to more of that medium and then all the way down to well done. Another thing is you don't wanna play with your meat. Like don't poke it a lot, don't mess with it a lot. That'll just kinda make the juices leak out, and it's just not a good thing to do. Also regarding temperature, you want to remove your meat from the heat when it's about 10 degrees from where the desired temperature is. That way as it rests, it'll finish cooking. So whatever temperature you want your meat at, remove it like 10 degrees before it's finished. Once your meat is all cooked, you're gonna wanna let it rest for 10 to 15 minutes, depending on the size of the cut. And that just lets those juices absorb. Otherwise, if you were to cut into this meat, all the juices would leak everywhere. So you can either let it rest on a plate, or the best way to do it is let it rest on a rack for just 10 to 15 minutes and just kind of let it rest. Okay, so all the grains are running this way, and we want to cut against that. So if they're running this way, I'm going to cut it this way. Okay, so I wanted to show you, this is how we like our meat cooked. Like, it's super, super pink, but it has a ton of flavor. Really good.